soon to be recognized as the top podcast in sports entertainment. My dude almost did a spit take.
Ladies and gentlemen, Apollo Crews.
Yes.
A Nigerian drum fight.
What the hell was like, oh my gosh. That's what I said. That's what I said. I had to muster
Get your nerve up. That's I understand. No, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared. I was scared to do the accent.
Yeah, it came to me earlier today. I was just like, no, you have to do it. I even set it as my alarm. I'm just like, you have to do it. Like,
he is
do it.
He is a goddamn fool.
Like since we all butchering accents and shit nowadays,
we might as well get in on the game.
You know, whatever. It's all
They're
good.
going to. I'm going to too.
Just, there's a trend to be set, and I shall set a trend or follow the trend that has been set effectively.
Yeah.
From dropping accents entirely to just losing the fact that you had one. They've done it several different times.
Oh, they've gone back and forth all over the place. My favorite call out of it ever is definitely when Triple H and Shawn Michaels are arguing and Kofi Kingston cuts them in between and goes, guys, we gotta work together here. And Triple H looks at him and goes, aren't you supposed to be Jamaican? And Kofi just goes, and like kind of slinks into the back.
I remember that one. Yes, classic. Definitely classic.
Great.
He's recently called out about that. Randy Orton recently called him out. Well, not like recent, but like a couple years
but like
ago.
it was Kofi Mania-ish time.
Yes.
When they were bringing up the stupid incident.
Yep. Definite. Oh my goodness. So, I'm looking at what's going on. This is episode 71 of Tough Talks. And
yeah.
I mean, Raw picked up the intensity this week. I'm not gonna lie. They picked up some intensity this week. They had some
It did a little
action.
bit.
Yeah, it had some goings on, it wasn't,
I'm not sure how I feel about our new boy on commentary.
McAfee?
No, that's SmackDown, and we'll get to that later. How I feel about that, which is positively, but we'll get to that. No, the guy from ESPN. He worked for Major League Baseball Network for a while. It's the new
Rashad.
Indian Michael Cole.
Yeah. We're live. We can't even cut. I can't even cut.
Why would you? Why would you?
Oh man, like this isn't even theater, but it's like it because you never know what you're going to expect, and you just got to keep going.
I mean, he kind of is.
I'm not gonna lie. When you think about the way he's so technical with his announcements,
he talks in a very similar cadence. Adnan Burke.
Adnan Varg. Okay, so I was way off. I'm sorry.
Adnan Verk. He's from Toronto. Like he's Canadian.
Oh, wow. They're just using his name. They're just they just pulling the culture card. It's all good.
Sorry, what I said was offensive. He's Pakistani, so it's one whole country over. But Pakistani Michael Cole.
Oh, okay. One country.
They border each other. I mean, literally one country over.
Oh fuck! I'm surprised they haven't canceled us yet, man.
What are you talking about?
Oh shit! Oh,
let's talk about Charlotte's tits.
Oh, the reduction or the
something's going on.
There were it could have been like she looks like she's lost weight overall.
That's
so that could be what it is.
That's what I'm questioning. So I can't tell if she's just on a new diet or if she's had work done on her face. And either way, what I'll say is she looks fucking great. Like she's
Mhm.
looked amazing uh both the weeks of the comeback so far.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking happy to have her back.
The hips
I
don't
was
really.
just
I didn't realize her hips were so slender though. She doesn't.
she looks small. Like she looks very petite now. Like
Yeah.
in a like she looks almost like Stacy Keibler a little bit.
Ah,
Like
that's.
because she's rocking the leg thing too. Like she's coming
Yep.
out with the like I don't know what's going on, but that I am wondering what's happened. Like did if she got some sort of work done on her face and lost because she's definitely like smaller. She's smaller than
Yes.
she was before. Um, but like I don't know if that's what's done it, but her face looks different too. Like she looks different.
Well, when you lose weight, you lose weight. That you start to lose in like your joints and your hands, your face, like
Yeah,
wherever
for
there's like
sure,
skeletal structure first. So
for sure. And that's what I mean. Like you can uh what's it called? Like you can tell that there is a weight loss element to why she looks different.
yes.
I'm just trying to figure if that is the whole thing. Because like I said, it looked like she looked like fake Charlotte Flair. Like she looked like a different like fake Sting.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. She
she's
did look
NW.
different.
Sorry, yeah, not fake Charlotte Flair. NWO Charlotte Flair.
Like NWO's thing. Oh man. Well, I don't know. I remember. Was it Meltzer or she went at someone for asking that question? So I'm just trying not to be that someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he said it like in a derogatory ass way though. He was
Oh,
kind of being
it
shit.
was a
Meltzer's a
dumb.
fuckhead. Like Meltzer's fucked up.
Yeah, it
He
was a dumb
talks.
shit.
He talks wild about people all the time, and it's like,
Mm-hmm,
yo, shut the fuck up, dude. Like
mm-hmm.
he's fucked up. He's been around for a long time, so yada yada yada. Respect where due. Blah blah blah. But he's he seems over the last few years he seems to be more of a dumbass than anything.
Because controversy sells.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess so because he's definitely not. He doesn't really provide that many scoops anymore.
Nah.
Like I
He's just
rarely see information about him like breaking news anymore.
whenever I see him, it's someone chewing him out for saying it's a woman chewing him out for saying some chauvinist
For
shit. Like
for
the
being a
last two,
shithead.
yeah, the last 2, 3 times I said it, so just like, oh, this guy must be a real ass clot.
And it's the thing,
But
like he's negative when
mm,
he's talking about the female talent all the time.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Um, yeah, no,
I
we
didn't
do
even
this
mean to get into that
in
right now. I was joking and playing up a chauvinistic
jest.
thing when I said let's
I
talk about Charlotte's
know.
tits. I didn't even. That's not even what I meant to get onto.
Oh
But
wow,
we
this
have
fun.
6 viewers right now, so let's keep talking about them. Um,
It's working. Do what works. Do what works.
go full Meltzer. Uh,
A meltdown. We'll have a meltdown.
yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. Well,
Oh shit.
thank you everybody for joining us. Let's
We
get into the
appreciate it.
fucking wrestling.
All right. So the full raw results as of WWE.com recited by me with some comedy from Thili. Um, we got Mason T-Bar once again attacking Drew McIntyre 1 week after his victory over Randy Orton and Braun Strowman.
Yeah. So I mean, with Mason T-Bar, they seem to be the only members of Retribution that are going to have any sort of payoff to the
Mm,
Retribution storyline. If you can even really call it payoff, it didn't seem like it was that much of a match. Or sorry, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's that much of a storyline right now.
mm.
They're just attacking Drew. I didn't think I would say this so soon, but I feel like the Drew versus Lashley stuff is starting to fall flat already.
Mm. This reminds me of the falling apart of the Wyatts.
Yeah, how it was not done correctly.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
just like okay,
yeah.
like you saw I was gonna call her Lola Brigida. Um
Brigida. What the
Keith,
fuck?
I know. Keith's girl, Keith Lee's girl. Mia
Mia
Yim.
Yim?
Yeah.
What's Lola? What is Lola Brigida?
Bro, I don't even know, fam. I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's how random her character was. It was
I don't
just
even
it
understand
didn't
what
fit.
that word is.
It didn't fit anything to do with
That's
what was going
awesome.
on. There was no female like there was barely any female combatants for her to face.
There was
So she was
none. Yeah,
yeah.
she only ever got involved with like getting in the way of the guys and making them feel bad for a second or whatever.
hmm
Like
hmm
they basically used her for a damsel in a mask and distress.
hmm hmm Yeah. So like that was
Too
different.
bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's and like they're I think they have an alignment that we'll talk about later on.
Yeah, despite our boy Montavious talking about how they have absolutely zero connection and affiliation with the hurt, blah 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 blah
hmm
blah.
hmm hmm hmm
I mean, this seems like one of those situations where they're trying to make you, they're trying to lay the groundwork for these to be two random actors, not actors in the sense of you know thespians, but actors in the sense of people involved in the action, but they don't but they have no intention of them not being involved. You know what I mean? Like they know goddamn well that they're going to be helping the Hurt Business right now because that's what
Yep.
they're doing, and that's all they've done for the last 2 weeks. So for MVP to be like, no, I don't, they have no affiliation, and then they happen to come out and beat the shit out of Drew, and then leave and walk right past MVP, and MVP just sits there like, oh, that's interesting. You know,
hmm
unlikely.
It doesn't so. It doesn't.
No, it
So
doesn't. It doesn't pass the sniff test at all.
hmm no, so we'll see how that develops as the story goes on.
Hmm.
And then
Speaking of the Hurt Business,
yeah, former officers of the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander
Cedric
Dar- and Shelton
Shelton
Benjamin
Benjamin.
came up short against the Viking Raiders. Second week in a row.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
hmm
yep.
hmm
The Viking Raiders look far too jolly in their entrance. I don't like the way they kind of have been prancing down to the ring. And, oh, isn't this fun being a Viking? Like, shut the fuck up and be angry. Um, like,
Oh
yeah,
man.
we've talked about it before. I don't like smiley Vikings.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
badass Vikings.
yeah. Well, they like in the ring, their definite dominance is being shown. Like,
Well, exactly. In the ring, they always look good because they're them and they've got those skills. But when what I'm assuming is happening and they are being given direction of right before they go through the curtain onto the fucking ramp, it's like it doesn't look, they don't even look like real smiles. Like they
mm,
look like they're off of a fucking children's cartoon or a fucking like they're giving the Steve from Blue's Clues smile,
oh man.
and I want them to look like Steve when he's not on camera on Blue's Clues and he's doing coke and getting in fights. Vikings.
Vikings straight. Oh man.
You
Well.
heard it here first. Steve from Blue's Clues was a fucking Viking.
Oh man. Dangerous and deliberate. Oh man. Speaking of which, Charlotte Flair engaged in a war of wars with Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley and Asuka.
Yeah, I feel like that's supposed to say War of Words.
I feel like that too. I was gonna say that, but I'm like, let me read it the way it is because I
Oh
lost
yeah,
my. Yeah.
no, that's the way to do it, because then we get to call him out on it.
Yep. What's his name this time?
It's probably the same dickhead as every week.
Well, let's see. All the way to the bottom. It doesn't even show his name. Gee, wow.
Oh,
You didn't get no
they really
shine.
did him like that?
You got no shine, fam.
Ooh,
We get you.
they did him dirty.
They did you dirty.
I mean, he fucked up a pretty common phrase there, but Jesus Christ, that is doing a man dirty.
Yeah, yeah. You got zero.
Or
Oh,
or another sign of his idiocy,
he
where he
didn't.
forgot to sign his own name.
Oh man, could you imagine him not crediting himself?
Like they give you points, they give you like 600 points on the SATs just for writing your name on it.
Wow. So there you go, buddy. There you go. Here's hoping your job didn't depend on that one, because
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, Charlotte Flair had a war of wars with Rhea Ripley and Asuka. Verbal war of wars.
Yeah.
And the best part of it, to be fair, like Charlotte was killer in the whole thing. Charlotte's outfit, she was dripping in the sauce in her entrance this week. That shimmery, like little skirt suit top thing she was wearing was crazy looking. And she was like dressing down Asuka, and every time Asuka tried to talk, she would say, "Shut up, Asuka. Nobody wants to hear what you say. We can't even understand you." Blah 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 blah. And she said it, she did that to her like 3 times, and then as she said "shut up" for like the 4th time, Asuka goes, "Charlotte, shut up, bitch." And it was awesome.
Shit.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Asuka. She's
The
the
crowd,
best.
the crowd erupted behind that. It was like, oh my
It's so
god.
good.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Charlotte or Asuka dropping a bitch bomb on Charlotte was great.
Oh man. So I have no direct transition, so I'll just say segue to Riddle defeating Randy Orton.
Yeah, this is a good match. These two could have a really good feud with each other. I would like to see these two have like some really good matches. Because this one was just a little preview basically, and it came out great. It ended in kind of a fluke victory. He got him in a roll up, but when I think at the end of it, they're kind of setting something up here. I think these two have a few more meetings in their future here, and like it started with Matt Riddle trying to get Randy into a tag team with him, because he's like, I was thinking, since you don't have a title right now and I don't have a title right now, I mean, I have a title right now, which I feel like hasn't been mentioned enough, but
I
whatever.
mean, like,
But
yeah.
uh, but Riddle is like, unlike Thili, we don't have titles right now, so maybe we could start a tag team called RK Bro, and we could go for the tag titles. So that was pretty awesome. I love that.
RK Bro.
RK Bro was fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Such good use.
Dynamic. Oh,
It would be
dynamic.
great. It would be great. Randy would kill it. Like Randy would absolutely destroy it. I would love to see Randy in one of those roles where he's the uncomfortable, like, straight man in a comedy duo.
Oh man.
Because I
Like the
think Randy
Killian
would be good.
like the
Yeah.
Killian Dane Drake Maverick kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, or the Rock and Mankind, Rock and Sock Connection was that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I would love that. That would be so
Stone Cold and
fucking
Dude
funny.
Love.
Stone Cold and Dude Love. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man. Stone Cold and most people actually. He always had that awkward. I don't want to be your teammate. But I
Well, I
mean,
remember when he started hanging around Kurt Angle, and the expectation was that Kurt Angle would be the jokey guy, and Austin would have to play it straight. But really, Austin ended up being the more fucked up of the two. Because they were both sucking up to Vince, and like Austin would just come in with a guitar and be like, "I wrote you a song," like fucking weird shit like that.
and then Angle would come in with the ukulele, well, and the the smaller hat. I wrote you a song too.
Brilliant.
Excellence. Oh my gosh, that's what's up.
Oh,
That is
my thing's fucking up here.
okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay, back to normal.
All right, all right. So moving forward, but talking about fucking up, Naomi and Lana defeated Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, but like the arm thing that Shayna does
Oh, so it looks nasty every single time.
every time, I cringe,
Every
bro.
time.
I don't
Yeah,
care what you
it's
want to tell.
frightening. It's frightening.
No, don't do it.
I'm always scared that she's gonna fuck it up and actually just destroy one of these girls' arms permanently.
A ligament. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Lana is a delicate flower, and
Oh.
I would I might cry if she fucking breaks her.
Oh my goodness. Like I don't know what I do. Like I
Oh
remember
god.
when Oksana broke Naomi's orbital bone. Bro, I was legit cuz Naomi would have, and I'll say this, I don't care what anybody wants to say. Naomi would have probably been the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion if she hadn't broken her orbital bone, or Raw Women's Champion if she hadn't got her orbital bone broken, cuz she was coasting.
Oh, and I mean Naomi's the best. Like
Yeah,
Naomi's fucking wicked.
yeah.
I miss that
Kudos.
glow title so much. I can't believe they only had that glow title for like fucking a month.
I know, right?
It's
But
pitiful because that glow title was the fucking shit.
yeah. Comes out and it's like, what is that? I'm like, what's she doing? And then what do you mean?
Yeah, the second it lit up, I was like,
Yep, yep, yep,
son,
yeah.
that's brilliant.
It was.
Yeah, that shit
Telling
was
you,
beautiful. I want
looked
that
way
back.
better than mine.
I want that. I want that title back. I want that. I
Oh,
want that glow title back on TV.
what if they get the tag titles and make them glow?
Oh, it, there we go. I didn't hear what you said. It started
I
doing
say,
that thing again.
what if they get the tag titles and make them glow?
It doesn't want me to hear whatever you're trying to say because every time you go to say that, it does it.
Okay, my fault. My battery might be dying. Hold on. Yeah, my battery's dying.
Is that what causes this? You motherfucker! This whole damn time. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Little technical difficulties here.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. All right. So yeah, that must have been what it was. I gotta remember to change these after every podcast because, yeah, life happens still.
That that makes so much sense of every time that's happened during this podcast.
Yeah, because they usually do it on the Sunday.
Son of a fucking bitch.
Oh
It's been
my
on your
god.
side this whole fucking time.
Oh my gosh. I even suggested to Restream they look up the Turtle Beach headphones and the connection between the iPhone. I never even thought it could have been me. Damn. Because I can't hear it. When I hear it, I hear everything perfectly fine. So it's just like, all right, let's go with it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Well, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got distracted. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke came out. Who, by the way, I don't know if it's just Mandy's entrance music or if that's supposed to be Mandy and Dana's, but still just says damn man only says Mandy. That entrance music's fire. Like really good shit. But they came out, showed videos of them beating up Nia, then showed videos of Nia slipping and falling when she's trying to get up on the ring last week.
Yep.
And that made Nia mad. Nia walked up the ramp, leaving her partner to get double X factored by Naomi and Lana, and got pinned. And nobody saw that coming because it was a non-title match.
But that should put them in line for a title match at WWE WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, no, I just mean it was super obvious that Nia and Shayna were going to lose that match before the bell started because they emphasized that it was a non-title match.
Oh, okay, yeah, that too. Oh man, yep. All right. Then we had Damian Priest disrupted Miz and Mrs. Celebration on Miz TV.
Yeah, Damian Priest came out. Damian Priest had a match with Miz the previous week, and Maurice distracted him, so he got rolled up by Miz. This week, Damian came out to kind of get his revenge and shit talk him in front of his wife for a bit. Did it pretty well. Also insulted the Miz's taste in champagne. Took a sip of it and was like, "This is shit, man. Like really bad." And then as he's about to walk away, he got champagned in the face. Which I guess the bubbles irritated his eyes because he was too blind to attack Miz for the insult, I guess. Speaking of Miz, Miz put up a thing on Twitter last week saying he wants to play Johnny Cage in the Mortal Kombat sequel because Johnny Cage is not in the new Mortal Kombat movie. That's the most perfect casting I've ever heard in my entire life, and they're idiots if they don't do it.
He already has that kind of A-lister, like that persona
Shithead
kind
face.
of thing. Yeah.
He looks like Johnny Cage. He's got the face of a shithead.
Oh man.
And it's fucking perfect. He should absolutely be Johnny Cage. Even Ed Boon came out today, the creator of Mortal Kombat, and said, yeah, I think The Miz should absolutely play Johnny Cage. So
nice.
Producers of the Mortal Kombat movies, everyone knows you're making a second one because our boy who's playing Sub-Zero got signed for a 5-picture deal with Sub-Zero. You have your Johnny Cage ready to go.
Yeah.
He's there. You just got to sign it.
Get him. All right. We also have, oh man, I thought it was Seth Rollins for a second. And they do kind of look familiar. And this isn't some, I can't tell the difference between Caucasian men. This is like some genuine, if you look at them, like if you look at them and like if you glance at them, like Seth Rollins and Elias could pass as siblings.
They 100% could, especially in this picture. They 100% could.
Yeah.
Here's how fucking stupid I am. As you were saying that, like as you're building to saying that, because I obviously knew when you said one of them looks like, or that when you said that looks like Seth, I thought you were talking about Kofi and saying that with his tights, like I thought you were saying he looked like. I was like, what are you noticing how they look alike from behind, you weirdo?
Like what the fuck?
Like, and then I literally took like a millimeter of a glance over. I was like, oh, he kind of looks like Seth.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Because I didn't understand where you're going with that. Because for some reason, I just immediately
Seth
thought you were
usually
gonna say
wears
Kofi Kingston looks like Seth.
Seth usually wears tights like that, like you know what I
Bright
mean, and
tights and the
the
long
bright
tights,
tights. Are,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So
But it's
you
just
know,
hilarious. It
wow.
goes to show. Yesterday when I was tweeting during the fucking UFC event,
Mhm.
somebody posted a picture of uh oh shit. I can't remember who it was actually, but they were wearing it was OSP, Ovin St. Preux, the fighter.
Good.
They're talking about him, and somebody was talking about how he's got like just like the thickest thighs in the world from his workouts and stuff. Like the dude looks like he could pull a full fucking locomotive. Like he's just
Shit.
ridiculous. And somebody was talking about it, and they posted a picture of him, and from like the quick glance and how, let's just be honest, how fucking baked I was. I looked at it and I was like, man, that motherfucker's skin is red. No, he was wearing red tights.
Oh,
It was Ovin St. Preux, who's like Wesley Snipes dark.
oh wow,
And in my
wow.
head, I'm like, man, his skin's really red.
No.
I'm I don't know
You
what's going
really
on with
were.
me lately. I don't know what the fuck's going on with me
Oh
lately. But
man.
I'm confusing fabric with flesh and
Oh man, that is some shit, bro. That is some shit. Well, at least he didn't walk into a convenience store and ask for the same pack of smokes 3 times and be told no and ask a fourth. But
okay.
yeah, bro. I walked into the store. This is a side note. This is a segue. I walked into the store and like I was, you know what I mean, I was smoking on the way to the store, so I was a little bit elevated. So I get into the store. I'm like, this is back when I smoked. I'm like, do you have a Demorier large regular? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, cool. So I walk into the back. I pick up some chips. I pick up some cookies. I'm like, yo, bro, do you have like a different
Don't worry, large regular.
the Warrior large regular, and he's like, no. So I'm like, okay. So I pick up some pop, and I pick up like a magazine or some shit, and I pick up some deli meat because I'm gonna go home and make a sandwich or some junk. I'm like, so do you have any king size Demoria? He's like, brother, are you okay? like, I'm like,
Do
what are you
you
talking
have a
about?
brain tumor, dog? Like,
He's like, I told you I don't have any Demorier. And like, oh, I thought you didn't have Demorier, that specific Demorier. He's like, no, I said I have no Demorier. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Dropped the like $60 worth of shit on the counter, feeling like Matt Riddle and shit, and just bought that in a high state and dipped out.
I was praying he was gonna say anything else, man. Yeah, you got any Demorier large regulars?
Oh man.
Just hit him with
Oh,
that one more.
one more time, just
Yep.
oh man. Yeah. But moving back to Twisted Situations, I can't call her the Twisted Sister because that's Nikki Cross. Where did she go? Um,
Yeah,
anyways,
good question.
Alexa Bliss described how Lily helped her when she was a kid against mean little girl on against the mean little girl on Alexa's playground.
Yeah, Alexa's new thing is potentially even creepier than the last thing.
Hmm.
That little doll with the skulls for teeth, very, very creepy, unsettling.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I love it.
Hmm.
I love everything they're doing with this right now.
I,
She is creeping the fuck out of me every time she's on screen. I love it.
I just got the chills, literal. Like I just
Yeah,
had a cold
the way
shoulder.
she talked to the rest of the women's division at the end, she was like, "So
Mm.
let that be a lesson to the other women in the Raw division." It's like she's like, um, Lily didn't like her, and she sure doesn't like you. I was like,
Mm.
okay, let's fucking go, bitch. Like, Let's fucking go. I'm stoked. So, because like, I don't know, it's weird. It seems like they're not gonna do much. They might not do much potentially with her and Bray.
Yeah, which
Like, I don't know where they're going with the her and the Fiend thing.
that's unfortunate because that looked
'Cause
like that was a good thing.
that was interesting. It was interesting. Like, especially when the Fiend came in after Mania and did that first Firefly Funhouse in a long time when Bray did it, and he was like referencing what happened and how not gonna let that go and blah, blah. Like, I want them to finish that story.
They have to. It's
Yeah,
necessity.
yeah. So we'll see where they go with it. But either way, I love what Alexa Bliss is doing right now. She's proves herself yet again to be one of, if not like the most valuable player on the Raw Women's like singles people.
Yeah, even without a title, she's one of
Yeah,
the ones who
she
don't need a
is the
title to
title.
be interested. She is the title. He says. Oh man, but yeah, you're right. Like she's got
Getting
the
in a
industry.
storyline with her right now is the title. If you are in a storyline with her, you are in the most interesting storyline on Raw television, at least on the women's side, if not the whole show. Every time, right now.
Yeah, that's not far fetched to say.
Because like with any woman on the Raw women's roster, right? Name
Hmm.
someone you'd rather see them storyline wise right now with than Alexa Bliss.
I mean, even Naomi with Alexa Bliss right now looks like a good thing.
That would be amazing.
Like like even Oscar with Alexa.
Because think about it. Think about it with Naomi. What you just said.
Yeah.
Naomi, when she does her entrance, all the lights cut down anyways.
Hmm.
So while all the strobe lights and the black lights and shit are going, what if it all just shuts off right in the middle of that? And all you can see, the only things that are on is the black light, so you can't really see much. But you can see the outlines and the highlighted parts on Naomi's outfit, and you see them getting fucked up. Like you see them her getting thrown around
That would
in the
be
black light.
fucks. I don't know if
Do
I could
it.
co-sign on that, but like I could
Do
see
it.
that. I can see it.
Like, do it. It'll be
Yeah,
awesome. And Naomi and
but
her will
then
put
you'd
on
have to.
gangster matches.
Yeah, but then you'd have to flip the script too, and then like have a inverse where the lights went out, but then they came on, and all you could see when all that came on was the glow lights.
Right. Because I'm not saying you book Naomi to get murdered week after week. I'm saying you do a storyline. So you do all of the variants of what you can do
Yeah,
with these two
yeah.
characters. Like you start these characters on a fucking path, a collision path, and you work it through to the logical conclusion, which is not something WWE likes to do often,
No,
but is something they should do more.
even an illogical. Yeah. Like the conclusion needs to make sense. They have too many storylines that just kind of end without conclusion,
They
and
just fizzle.
yeah, and they bring them back in some ways later on down the road. Like I mean, even with the Kofi Randy thing, I forgot that they had a feud that didn't
Yeah,
really conclude.
but like that's a thing where like that kind of thing is good when you intentionally leave something to to save it for later, and you create the weight and the want for it. WWE doesn't really do that. WWE forgets about storylines, and then some writer who gets hired, because the last 6 writers have been fired over the last 5 months, and that writer happened to be watching wrestling when that first storyline is going on and goes, "Oh, this is fucking perfect. I get to finish a storyline that I liked when I was a kid that these fucking assholes didn't do."
Okay, all right. I can see that as a reasonable
Yeah, like
reasonable
there's
choice.
there's reasons to postpone things and leave things for later. It's just that the WWE doesn't find good ones enough.
Mm, mm. Speaking of good ones, I think they actually, outside of this piss poor mask gimmick, are finally using these guys for something interesting. Where it comes
Well,
to Mason T-Bar being disqualified in a loss to Drew McIntyre.
yeah, Drew McIntyre was disqualified. And to
Was
the point, to the point of this. Oh wait, no, wait. He should have been because the ref ran the bell on him.
I'm just reading the headlines, bro.
Weird. Yeah, no, because I just watched this match this morning. And what happened was, oops, sorry. What happened was, Drew McIntyre pulled. Which one's the one with the dreads? Is that T-Bar or is that
T-Bar.
Mace? That's Mace.
That's Mace. That's Mace.
That's Mace, yeah.
Yeah.
So Drew McIntyre pulled Mace's mask off. Mace started rapping about God. No. He pulled Mace's mask off, and started beating the shit out of him with it in the corner. Like, just started whipping him with the mask.
Oh,
And the ref went ding, 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 ding. And then T-Bar jumped in and they attacked him together. And then all of a sudden you hear, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Choo, choo. Which I'm pretty sure it's how his entrance music goes now. And Braun Strowman showed up.
Jesus Christ. I don't think I could have worked with a better heel, bro. Oh, man.
Do you know how angry I was at Shane for not ever thinking to go, I think I can, I think I can, in making fun of, if you're trying to make fun of Braun Strowman and call him stupid, how do you not bring up a fucking children's story that has a fucking train in it, you idiot?
He wasn't thinking.
Oh my God.
Damn. But yeah. Oh, man. And that saga, speaking of Braun Strowman, Mason T-Bar defeated Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman by disqualification.
This guy looks like Seth Rollins.
Oh, I was gonna say he actually kind of looks like Lars Sullivan in that picture, but
a little bit. He's a little.
yeah.
And he does have a black eye and a headlock.
Oh damn! He went there, ladies and gentlemen. These are tough talks with Thili and Dablock. We are syndicated.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Liquid Fire Radio. That was honestly that's up there with some of your best,
off the top, baby. Work. That was off the top, baby. Let's go.
Oh shit! He does have a black guy in a headlock. I'm like, wow. I digress. Damian Priest defeated The Miz.
Oh, sorry. I am sorry.
What?
The Mason T-Bar versus Drew and Braun. That is the one that Mason T-Bar won by disqualification. Okay. I thought that was before. That was the end of that one, was him ripping off Mace's mask. Yeah, I thought that happened during the handicap match, not during the tag team match that the handicap match turned into, because WWE still likes to do that week in and week out.
If it's not a handicap match, it's 6-man tags.
I'm surprised this one didn't turn into a 6-man after that part. I'm surprised Mustafa Ali didn't come out and join Drew and Braun.
So wait, hold on. Did they identify them as Dijakovic and
So that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah,
the dude that used to. I remember as soon as Brock Lesnar put him through the table, I said, "Watch, he's gonna come up on Raw," and I couldn't figure out who he was until they came out with Retribution, and I'm like, "Yep, there he is. There's
it's him. It's him." The thing that confused me was, I guess I'm stupid. I didn't realize that was. I didn't realize it was Dijakovic.
I think I figured that out a couple months ago.
And then I took the mask off, and I was like, "Wait!" and I rewound it, and I'm like, was that Dominic
Yeah,
What
yeah, full 100.
the Dijakovic? Like, that's crazy. Good for
Full
him.
100.
Good for him. Hope he gets to do something cool now.
Yeah, because he
Because
was
they're
a
getting rid of the masks. If they're getting rid of the masks, let's go. Like, let's go.
yeah,
Let's do something cool. Because Dominic Dijakovic is a fucking beast.
but keep
That
them as a tag
series of
team.
matches, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, that series of matches he did with Keith Lee were
Hmm.
some of the most incredible big man matches I've seen in the last, 10, 15 years.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
incredible.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'd love that that's him and he's getting some sort of shine now, especially with once again taking off those stupid fucking masks.
yeah.
Because he's gonna be good. I also hope they just give me his name back. Just let him be Dominic Dijakovic. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's better than T-Bar.
I don't know. T-Bar without the mask. T-Bar sounds kind of it's workable. It's workable. It's not
Mm,
the greatest. It's not the greatest,
nah,
but without the mask,
nah, get rid of it.
it, it could be
No more T-Bar. Name
okay.
him D-Bar.
T-Bar. That's not too
Dijakova
far
Bar.
off. That's not too far off.
Then
Oh
then then they can bring back the WWE ice cream bars again, except this time as Dijakova bars.
man.
And it's just vanilla ice cream.
Oh man. Wow. Wow. He keeps going. He keeps going. Oh man. I didn't even know they had ice cream.
Yeah, then they just had New Day bars.
Oh yeah.
But and then way back, remember when CM Punk gave his demands to Vince McMahon? He said that he wants the WWE to bring back the WWE ice cream bars with his face on them. That
Oh
was one
my
of his
god.
demands for not taking the WWE World Title to another company.
Oh man. Wow. That's ballsy.
And I
But
think
that's CM Punk.
Dijakovic should make the same demand.
Mm-hmm.
Dijakova bars for all.
Pony up.
That's how he gets his face turned.
Mm-hmm. Starts handing them out to the crowd.
Yeah, post pandemic, he's handed out fucking ice creams to the whole crowd.
Mm-mm.
And
Oh
then if you want
man.
to turn him heel again, you tell the crowd that he's been licking them before he wraps them and throws them out to them.
Hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
wrote a year worth of Dijakova bar stories. Give me money, WWE.
You heard the man. You heard the man. He about to give you something good for Damian Priest versus The Miz, where Priest is the victor or was the victor.
Yeah, so I'm spoilers. This is going to be a very similar breakdown to what the next match's breakdown is going to be. Sure did.
Okay. Sheamus beat down Humberto Carrillo before
Sure
their
did.
open challenge match. And
Oh,
then the
okay.
main event. The main event was Asuka defeating Charlotte Flair, who is looking like down to her abs though. Her abs are looking like
hmm
even more defined than before. And
hmm
that's not to say they weren't.
No, she's a top tier athlete.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean the Oscar versus Charlotte Flair is a really good match, as you would expect. Um, Rhea Ripley came down to kind of interfere a bit and distracted Charlotte, and Oscar got the roll up. Not the first roll up of the night either. A bunch of roll ups happened.
Mm.
Um, the other thing that I will say is just being completely honest, the Damian Priest versus the Mids and Sheamus versus Humberto Carrillo were pointless matches. Having them on this episode did nothing.
Mm.
Like they happened, and the highlight things there of them that are like just under 3 minutes are probably about as long as the matches were themselves. Like there is like nothing to them. So
Yeah.
I just wish they would have saved those matches for next week, where you can actually have those matches.
And they just squeezed them in.
Instead of just squeezing them in onto a show where there was 15 minutes left in the night, right?
Mm.
And they started a match between Damian Priest and The Miz, and we knew that Charlotte Flair and Asuka was going to be coming on. So you're like, well, this isn't going to be very long. Like, and then when that match ended, it was like, oh, that was even quicker than I thought. Charlotte and Asuka are going to have more time than I thought. Then Sheamus comes down and does the Humberto Carrillo thing. It's like, well, I know Charlotte and Asuka are coming on, so this isn't going to be very long, and it's not. So it really just, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't do anything for much of anything for anybody. Sheamus looks like a gangster, but only sort of, because he beat down Humberto Carrillo, who hasn't had more than one win in a row ever.
I was gonna
Um,
say, like, has he?
like, so who knows, you know?
We'll see how that goes and how that develops. But that is the wrap for Raw this past week. Moving on to SmackDown Live, we have this was definitely an interesting collective of personalities, we'll say, where
Yeah.
Cesaro and Daniel Bryan defeated Jey Uso and Seth Rollins after a good lengthy. It was a good 5 to 12 minute joust.
This is what I
Verbal
was just going to
joust.
bring up. Do you think potentially WWE had something, we won't say specifically what, though we would all pretty much know what it is, because it would be the same thing that it has been that causes every problem over the last fucking year and a bit in their SmackDown pool? Because it seemed like they had about, I don't know, 7 or 8 people available to work on Friday with how long this segment was, wasn't it? Like this
Yeah,
segment, it was like 30 minutes.
yeah,
Like
easily.
legit, it was legitimately 30 minutes long.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
believe.
that's without commercials, because the file that I watch has no commercials on it. And when I looked at my runtime
Yeah,
before Roman had even come out
yeah.
to talk shit, it it was at like 26 minutes.
Holy shit.
So
Yeah,
I mean, minus the like maybe 2 minutes they spent recapping uh the previous week
yeah.
on SmackDown type shit, but yeah, it was. I'd say it was probably 26, or it was probably 28 to 30 minutes long. This
Because
one segment
it ran
with
through two
no
commercials.
fighting.
Yeah, it ran through 2 commercials.
Yeah, and then Cesaro and Daniel Bryan defeated Jey Uso and Seth Rollins after 30 minutes.
Yep. Yep. That
How do you
was.
have a wrestling show that doesn't have any fucking wrestling for 30 fucking minutes?
Mm-mm.
It was a good episode too, because Daniel Bryan and Cesaro are killers on the mic, as are Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, and Roman now. But
Yep.
like, Jesus Christ, somebody throw a punch. It was like watching Superman Returns, a Superman movie where Superman doesn't throw a single punch the whole movie, hour and a half long.
Wow. Thanks
And
for
this
thanks
was
for
the
saving me that.
SmackDown equivalent.
Thanks for saving me that hour and a half.
Oh, this is the one you would never ever have to watch. This is the one that the what's his name, the who's that guy who's super canceled right now?
Oh no.
the guy who did Unusual Suspects, Bryan Singer.
Oh.
He's super canceled. Um,
Mm.
but
Mm.
his Superman movie was that one. It was
Okay.
that from like 2000 and like I don't know 5 or 6.
Mm.
And it's
Mm-mm.
bad. It's real bad.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um,
Duly noted.
and actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure Kevin Spacey, also super canceled for the same reasons as Bryan Singer, was Lex Luthor in that movie.
Oh wow. Damn.
On the plus side, neither of them have anything to do with WWE. So,
Or us. Or us for
yeah,
that
or us. Yeah,
matter.
it's not affiliated. Not affiliated at all.
We got a big X on that one. All
Yeah,
right. Speaking of people who are affiliated, however, Tamina defeated Nia Jax.
yeah. This was a good uh, big girl match. Like these two were smacking the shit out of each other. Um,
Mm,
they both have trouble lifting the other one.
mhm,
Tamina has trouble getting her up for her like falling uh, Samoan drop. Nia was having trouble getting her up on the ropes when she was trying to at one point. Um, and not even like lifting her up on the top rope, like just up on the rope.
mhm,
Um, and yeah, I mean, this basically got the Reginald was there. Reginald's still around. He's
mhm.
still doing his thing.
Whatever that
Um,
is.
whatever that is. Uh, this week, it was being saved by and causing Shayna to get hit, and then which I think caused the distraction, which allowed. Let me. I'm gonna guess here before I go down. Oh no, it was okay. I thought this was gonna be for sure a roll up victory, but no, super kick, and got a pin. Big fucking win for Tamina. That's a
Mhm,
real good look for Tamina's uh, storyline moving forward.
mhm, mhm.
Hopefully,
Definitely.
her and Natty win the
They should,
titles.
man. It's well worth the time, and like, couldn't think of anybody more deserving, really.
No, no, not at all. Agreed.
Well, Paulo Cruz defeated Kevin Owens in an Intercontinental Championship match. Ha ha ha
A Nigerian championship match.
ha.
Um, my God,
Oh my
Apollo Crews is
goodness.
strange now. Um,
Mm.
also, yeah, Commander Aziz.
Oh
I
my gosh.
don't like him.
He is like, but he is a colossal beat. You
He's
know what I want
huge.
to, you know what I want to see? Aziz versus Omos. That's what I need to see
Omos
by
would have to win that match.
WrestleMania.
Has
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Omos is bigger and scarier to me.
Yeah.
Aziz just seems like. Here's my problem with Aziz. Aziz
Okay.
seems like a guy who Vince saw walking down the street and he said, "Holy shit, look at the size of that guy." And then told one of his people to go get him. No other training.
Okay, so how does that differentiate Omos?
Omos is very well trained. Omos has like in ring, like very good in ring skill and ability. Was trained by Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Has
Oh
been in the
yeah,
Performance
yeah, yeah.
Center for years. I'm saying Aziz seems like they found him the night before WrestleMania
Oh my gosh, and just slapped him in the uniform and
and
said,
just
"Do
was like,
this."
"Get in there."
He did the vid so well.
He's
Get
like,
in there.
"Where are you from?" "Well, I'm Samoan." "You're Nigerian now." And kicked
Oh
his ass in
shit.
there.
Oh stop. You're too much. That's great. Oh my goodness. We got Rey and Dominic Mysterio defeating Chad, Gable, and Otis.
Yeah.
I went blurry for a second there.
Chad and Otis continue to be very fun. Really fun team. I mean, we didn't really get to talk about it last week. I guess this is as good a time as any. Tucky is gone. Tucky
Yeah.
was released, as was Mickey James,
Yeah.
as was Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that one surprised me.
That one was very surprising to me too. The best thing I've seen out of it though is that Samoa Joe seems to feel very freed by it. Because CM Punk, who goes way back with Joe to the indie days, CM Punk tweeted a picture or a GIF of Dave Chappelle in the Rick James skit,
Yep.
rubbing his feet into the suede couch, Eddie
Should have
Murphy suede
never
couch,
came on his couch. Yep.
and it's just fuck yo couch, and then Samoa Joe retweeted it and said they should have never gave me money. And I was like, yes, Joe, yes. Let's fucking go. So watch out for Samoa Joe wherever he goes. Samoa Joe is one of those guys that will get me to watch any program that he is on. So any wrestling company that picks him up has at least one viewer guaranteed.
Nice.
I'll be there I'll watch Joe all the time. I fucking love Samoa Joe. Ever since I came late to Samoa Joe. I didn't know Samoa Joe's like more indie work and stuff like that. But ever since Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. No, Finn Balor. Ever since Joe versus Finn Balor in NXT, and then leading into Joe versus Shinsuke and their trilogy of fights where they passed the title back and forth twice each. My God, like that dude is spectacular in the ring, and the fact that WWE hasn't had him in the ring at all in the last year plus, not good. Not a good
And
look.
they were putting good use to him on commentary, but at the same time, not good enough use to him overall.
No, because it's like they were doing to him the same thing they did to Taz. They saw a role that they thought was better placement for him in commentary, despite the fact that the motherfucker could still whoop some ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Taz got done dirty.
Taz got done, but Taz seemed to be okay with it. Taz seemed to be on that thing of like, yeah, it's like, my career wasn't gonna last that much longer anyway, so if it, might as well do this. Blah, blah, blah. Whereas Joe, yeah, Joe's got years. Like Joe's got years left that he could be wrestling and kicking ass. Because Joe's a scary dude too. Joe's one of those guys who I would never, ever, ever say a single bad word about ever.
Looks like he put someone to sleep just for waking up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if he does put you to sleep for the crime of just waking up, you deserved it.
It's true. It's too true.
That's your fault. You shouldn't have woke up.
What are you waking up for? You can't wake him around Joe.
And if you did wake up, why'd you let him know? Stupid.
You know what I mean? You just sit there.
You sit there with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Just in case Joe's in the room. I do that for like 20 minutes after I wake up every day. Just to be sure he's not there.
That would be a great commercial. That would be a Geico commercial.
Nobody steal that. I'm gonna tweet Samoa Joe later. I'm gonna send him a DM.
Oh man, that's great. You got to put someone to sleep for waking up. What? Yeah, man. Sell it to Geico. Sell it to Geico. Oh man. Moving on to the final confrontation. Roman Reigns laid down a high stakes challenge to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. So there was a total of 5 things that happened on SmackDown because of how long that fucking intro thing was. And the outro thing wasn't that much shorter and had all the same people in it. So it was weird. Roman Reigns came out because Daniel was demanding that Cesaro get a title shot, which seems to be Daniel's thing. Daniel seems to do this thing where if he fails to win the title off somebody, he then tells that person, you should fight this guy for the title. You should give this guy a shot at your title. He deserves one. And it's like, I'm always very hesitant to believe you, especially when you're wearing recycling gear.
Oh man, recycling gear.
Because whenever he's wearing recycling gear, he was a heel.
You know what? When
Captain Planet.
When they were talking at the beginning, and he was stepping
I thought
back,
he was gonna hit Cesaro.
I thought he was gonna clap
So did
Cesaro
I.
with a kick.
So did I. Yeah. But he said, because I'm here to make sure that Cesaro gets exactly what he deserves. I was like, he's gonna fucking hit Cesaro right in the fucking mush.
Yeah, he's gonna
this son of a bitch, Daniel Bryan. I started booing Daniel Bryan preemptively.
He's gonna mush him.
But he didn't. It just fucking seemed like he was going to.
Could have sworn he would have. Could have sworn.
I thought he was going to. I thought we were getting Captain Planet back.
Shit.
But yeah, so he demanded that. Roman Reigns came down, and said that told Cesaro the answer is no. The answer will always be no, for you, because you're not on my level. You're a loser. I thought Roman's, that's a thing from earlier in the night. I thought Roman's loser speech, when he said loser like 65 times in the fucking like few sentences he said, I thought that was great. And he was like, you're both losers. It's like, see this shirt, Daniel? It says stack 'em. What was it? Stack 'em.
Mash 'em, stack 'em, pin 'em.
Yeah, mash 'em, stack 'em, pin 'em. He's like, you see this drawing on here? You're the one on the bottom. That means you are the biggest loser.
That was so cool.
And he's like, and you're not like Cesaro. See, Cesaro is like, what did he call it? He said Cesaro's like a loser at a casino. He just got bad luck. But no, he's like a loser at something. So he just got bad luck. But you're a stupid loser.
Oh my gosh. He roasted him.
It was fucking great. It was great. It might be the
mic work.
I was gonna say it might be the best promo Roman's ever cut, and I'm fairly certain he was just going off the top of the dome for that whole thing because he killed it. Like, it was great. But then he laid down the challenge at the end of the night, and he said that you're getting another. He's like, the answer will always be no for Cesaro. He's like, I don't like you, Daniel. I have never liked you. I will never like you. And I don't want to see your fucking face around here anymore. He's like, so if you lose, when you lose, I don't ever want to see you on my show again. So we're getting if Daniel loses, he leaves SmackDown. So we may be getting Daniel Bryan on Raw. And by maybe, I mean, I think we're getting Daniel Bryan on Raw.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I gotta see this because like Mr. Yes he hasn't made the test in the last couple of tries, but he definitely stands the test of time. So
we'll see how he's gonna lose on Friday.
Yeah.
I will be shocked. Rest in peace, Shotji. I will be shocked if the Universal title changes hands from Roman Reigns to Daniel Bryan on regular TV.
Well, share the shock.ca because they
Oh,
haven't had
also that shock, yes.
Yeah, they haven't changed titles on. Remember, we were talking about this on Raw a couple months back, and they hadn't changed titles in a minute,
And they did it.
They did. So,
They did it,
this might be.
which means it's another few years for it to happen again.
Yep. True. I mean, you didn't get that by luck. You kept it by luck, but you didn't get it by luck. Oh man,
no
we
luck
got Jay in
involved.
here.
Oh, hey, what up?
As we're writing down. Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
Just winding down.
Yeah, and I know. I really had to ask a question. Did you watch the UFC match?
We're just gonna get to that now. That's exactly what I was just pulling up when my camera went like this for a second there. I was typing in the.
Who do you think was at home clapping and laughing?
I mean, Anderson Silva was definitely feeling like the gods of irony were smiling down because
Same
I
level.
explained it to Block here before we started the show, but I just want to go over the demented, beautiful poetry of what happened last night. Actually, let me find one quick date here so I can speak to this correctly.
Okay. While he's looking for that date, let you know that Exposed to the North presents Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock. Check out the website, sharetheshock.ca. That looks real small on there. You know what I mean? It needs to look bigger. But check us out. We are upwards of almost at 11,000 views on the website. So yeah, there's eyes on a lot of things. We got some things happening. The issue 8 of Culture Shock magazine is on there as well. And for those of you who have been following what we've been doing with the Culture Shock magazine, we have now put all of the previous issues online. So you can get all the way back to issue 1 online if you go to sharetheshock.ca/archives-2. So check it out.
Yes. So in 2013, Anderson Silva was the middleweight champion of the world.
The untouchable middleweight.
The untouchable middleweight champion. Like, he could not be fucked with by any man or deity. This man was unfuckwithable, the definition of it.
Yep.
And he went up against, at the time, fairly young guy, Chris Weidman.
An upstart.
Yeah, he'd been around for a bit. He had earned his title shot, undoubtedly had earned it. And during that fight, Anderson Silva went to throw a leg kick, which standard work for Anderson. Anderson threw that kick a fucking trillion times before that night. Yeah. And he hit Chris Weidman on the inside of his left leg, just under the knee, at that really hard part just under the knee where the tibia bone is at its thickest.
It in half.
And literally snapped in half both bones. And you can see, everyone's seen the video. It was fucking viral video. Leg wrapped around it, and then he brings it back to stand, and it folds in half underneath him, and he's just on the ground. It's one of the worst things anyone's ever seen.
Second.
One of the worst sports injuries.
Yeah.
Second.
It's yeah. It's horrific. So last night, Chris Weidman, making his return after, years and years of injuries and, false starts of comebacks where he'd
throwing his millionth kick.
Yep, getting injured,
to the left leg.
Yeah, throwing an injured kick. This time to a young man, not a young man anymore, really, but to a man named Uriah Hall. Now, little backstory on Uriah Hall here. Uriah Hall's fight that he had just before this fight last year was against a young man named Anderson Silva, who it was his retirement fight, and he fought Anderson
choice.
Silva, not by choice. He wanted to go on, but it should have been by choice. That should be the last we see of the Spider. I love Anderson Silva, but it's over.
It was over when
Unless he wants to
got
start
caught.
taking TRT and go to ONE FC. But his retirement fight. So a lot of people when Uriah Hall first came in said that he was young Anderson Silva. It's a skinny black kid, throws great kicks, long legs, similar things to what they said about John Jones
Fast
when John
movement.
Jones first came in. Fast movement, unorthodox style, will just throw a kick out of nowhere, spinning back heel kick.
Same with his punches, they can come from all angles.
Exactly. Got a lot of comparisons to Anderson in his days coming up. So after the fight with Anderson, his idol, he goes and fights Chris Weidman, the man who twice beat Anderson Silva, once by that freak leg kick, for the UFC World Middleweight title. Chris Weidman steps into the octagon. Uriah Hall steps into the octagon. They touch gloves. They kind of dance around each other for a couple seconds, kind of getting your, feeling out process, getting ready. At 14 seconds, you can see Chris Weidman wind up, and he throws the first strike of the fight. It is a leg kick with his right leg to the outside this time instead of the inside of the left leg instead of the right leg of Uriah Hall. And in that one kick, it wraps around Uriah Hall's leg. Chris, from the replay, when you watch the slow motion replay, it's incredible. Chris doesn't know anything's gone wrong because his leg wraps around him, and he's just like straight face. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. And then it hits the ground, and before any pressure's even been able to be put on it, you see his face change drastically.
Yep.
His face goes to a sudden look of shock, and his fucking leg does the exact same goddamn thing that Anderson Silva's did on his. Fucking 8 years ago now, and it's the most disgustingly, incredibly poetic thing I've ever seen in my life. The fact that
he's
that
done.
happened.
He's done. If he comes back and fight, he's gonna be like Silva. Yeah, he's gonna be like Silva. He's gonna come back. He's gonna do shit.
Yeah. The other problem with Chris is that he's over the last few years, unfortunately, developed a reputation as having a glass jaw.
Yeah.
Or as I call it, Luke Rockhold syndrome.
Oh wow!
And I've said for years that my dream fight in the UFC is to see Chris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold, because it is the only possible matchup where the most likely result is a double knockout.
But here's the other funny thing about that match that happened last night. The one right before was a leg stoppage too.
That was the other thing. We had two real bad leg injuries in a row. My boy Anthony Smith threw one of the most precise and perfect leg kicks I've ever seen, because he hit right on the knee, not under the knee where the thick joint and bone is.
It.
And he killed the nerve on the back of poor Jimmy Crute's leg. Like, the dude's drop foot. For a second, I thought Jimmy Crute's leg was broken for a bit, because when he went to try to walk back to his corner, his ankle was like going on its side and like buckling over and shit. I was like, no, what happened? Ew, this is the worst thing I'm gonna see happen to someone's leg all night. Ew.
And then, a couple of minutes later.
Yeah, and then about 10 minutes fucking later, Chris Weidman's being loaded onto a stretcher, screaming his fucking guts out. DC's almost crying on the sidelines because he can't look. Joe Rogan is fucking disgusted and can't look away.
Oh,
It's incredible. As I told
dang.
Block, that injury has only happened 3 times
Yep.
in the UFC. 2 of them involve Chris Weidman, once on each side of the injury.
Yep.
Yep.
The
That's not
irony
fucking
of it
real.
all.
The
The,
the astronomical odds against that being the case.
like, you couldn't
That's-
script something like that.
You couldn't. You literally couldn't. That is a thing where if you were writing a movie, right, and you wrote the movie, and you're talking to producers about trying to sell this movie,
And
they
they'd be
would
like,
say,
no, that's impossible.
I love it, but that ending's not believable. It would never happen.
And it'd be
Guess
like the
what,
cr-
bitches?
Yeah.
It's a biopic. This is
Oh,
facts.
No, it adds a little more legitimacy to the Karate Kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Incredible.
It was a good. Actually, it was actually one of their best events they've had so far this year.
It was insane. Yeah, it was the first
Like,
time we
every
had
match
fans
was
again.
good.
Yeah, first time we had fans again. The fans definitely had people
I think there was only what 5, 1, 2, 3,
put up. 5 fights on the
6.
main card.
5. Yeah, but only
Um,
5 went to decision.
Yeah. Oh, for the whole night. Yeah. But right from the early prelims, first early prelim, second round knockout. Second early prelim, I believe, was a first round knockout.
The first one was a TKO. Second one.
Oh,
was
first one was second
unanimous.
round. Yeah, sorry. Second one was
Unanimous.
a decision.
TKO.
But
in
those
the first.
those were really good. That's what it was. The final fight, the featured fight on the early prelims.
Was the
Dana
Korean-
Batgarel, who is also known as the what was his nickname? The Mongolian Murderer.
Yeah.
Wow.
He came out to a song by. I'm gonna recommend this to everybody. Block, you will love these people. Look up the band, The Who, not the Who that we all know, the WHO. THE space HU. They're a
Oh
Mongolian
yes, those guys
metal
are freaking
band.
amazing. Yep.
They're incredible.
They
Watch
do
their
chant
music
metal.
videos. Their music videos are some of the most cinematic things I've ever seen. They're stunning.
Mhm.
They had a song in what was
Like
it?
4 years ago, that was on Facebook everywhere too.
Yeah, they had a song recently in a movie. But they're fantastic. There's one song called Uve Uve U, I
Yep.
think is the song. Uve
Mhm.
Uve U, Uve Uve U. That song is the most hype shit I've ever heard in my entire life. It's so fucking ridiculous. It's unbelievably metal. It's so good. But he
Okay.
came out to them. He came out to the Who, and I
What'd
was
you think
so
of the
pleased.
women's flyweight changing back?
So that's not the, or no, the straw weight. The straw weight is the one that
Oh,
changed.
flyweight. No,
Oh, wait.
still, sorry. Yeah,
No,
sorry,
flyweight's
you're right.
still
You're right.
Val.
Strawweight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Val did what she does. She got
Yeah.
a second round dominant TKO on Jessica Andrade.
Ground and pound.
Not
That's her bread and
yeah.
butter.
Yeah, I was hoping Jessica Andrade would win that. Not because I dislike Valentina, but I really like Jessica Andrade. I also felt like it'd been a long time since we had a real big upset in a title fight, and I was
Cyborg.
hoping for it. Yeah, man, when Amanda
When
knocked
Nunes?
Cyborg the fuck
Yeah,
out. Yeah, Nunes,
right.
that's my girl. She's the greatest of all
Yeah.
time. Man, male or female, Amanda's the greatest of all time.
Oh hell yeah, she's gonna kick.
Yeah.
Like,
And if
Yeah,
she
but-
fights Val again, if we get Val versus Nunes 3, I think it goes the same way. I think Amanda beats her again.
yeah.
But
Yeah, the strawweight. That was
straw
interesting.
weight was crazy. So Rose was talking real wild in the build up to this fight. I was not a fan of that. I've always liked Rose Namajunas. I think she's very relatable. She seems like a good person. She seems sweet. All this kind of stuff. Her husband, however, Pat Barry. I don't like Pat Barry. I don't think Pat Barry's a good person. I think he's actively a bad person. I think he's a piece of shit.
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you said I think before all of those statements because that minimizes any liability.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell
Oh
us how
no,
you
no,
really
that's the
feel.
best thing. That's the best thing. The best thing about calling people assholes and pieces of shit is you can't be sued for slander on those things. If I was to say he was a con artist or that he was brainwashing poor Rose, or that he was an insurrectionist who works against people, then I would be, if I had said those things, then I would be potentially committing slander if those things weren't also very easily verifiable through his own words and actions. But I didn't say any of those things, but that's where it could end up being a problem if I did.
Okay,
so
as long as we're
doesn't mean guilt.
clarifying. Just as
Yeah,
long as
exactly.
we're clarifying.
Yeah, no, I didn't
Insinuation
say
isn't
all.
guilt.
Yeah, I didn't say all those things.
But yeah,
But I might. But I probably could if I wanted to.
That song you were telling me about, 75 million views.
Yes.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
That's intense. Yeah.
And what did you
so-
think about that? Go finish with the straw weight.
Oh yeah, so I
Alright,
just
fine.
the thing that made me happy again though after Rose won, because I wanted Whaley to knock her the fuck out for how wild she was talking. She was talking about Whaley. She was saying fighting Whaley meant so much to her because of what Whaley represents. And I'm like, what does Whaley represent? Commies. Like,
Oh wow.
because she's Chinese.
Yep.
And like going off saying shit like she said she was gonna take her commie back and choke her commie throat and like shit like that, like real hardcore right wing Pat Berry like type things.
Bullshit.
Yeah. And so I didn't like any of that shit. When she won and Joe Rogan was talking to her, it seemed like for the first time in a couple months she wasn't being fed lines by some asshole. Because she talked about how much she respected Whaley. She talked about what a great fighter Whaley was, and that she's going to be back, and like she, I'd love everybody.
She pulled a
said she wants-
McGuire.
Yeah, well, she also said she's going to be using money and and awareness that she has so that she can build MMA training, like MMA schools around the world, and wants to bring people together and all that stuff. And I was like, that is very, very much not the stuff you're getting fed through social
I think she
media
was
stuff.
doing it just for like promoting money.
See,
They were
I
the
would
number
normally
2 fight.
think that too. But she is so rarely been like that before.
Yeah, and then she got criticized for it too because she would never talk her fights up.
Yeah. Well,
so
and
I think this was to talk it up.
right, and it goes to show you with what I will say was, despite being cool seeing fans back, was also the most embarrassingly racist crowd I've ever seen at a sporting event.
America.
Yeah, like literally every Asian, and bear in mind, this is a group of 30,000 people who have been listening to Rose Namajunas say the things that I just told you she was saying for the last month, right? She, this crowd, every time an Asian fighter was on screen or up to fight or won and was talking or the translator was talking, the deafening boos being hurled at anybody who was not white was ridiculous. It was fucking insane. I like 3 fights in after we'd had 2 Chinese fighters get booed almost out of the fucking octagon. I was literally like, why did we have to have our first fucking crowd with people again in fucking Florida, of all fucking places? Like, the only person who wasn't white that they cheered for was Jorge Masvidal, who's a Miami-born Cuban that went out and rallied for Trump during the last election.
Wow.
And then we go to the number one fight of the night.
Which
minute and 2
made
seconds.
me smile ear to ear. Because guess who got knocked the fuck out?
Isn't he supposed to be the
The
baddest motherfucker on
Miami-
the earth?
Yeah, the Miami-born Cuban who fucking went out on the campaign trail for Trump got knocked the fuck out by Marty Usman. And it
Oh,
was
man.
glorious.
And he got hit hard. Oh, hard.
Kamaru Usman hit him so hard. Block, I'm going to send you a picture. Kamaru Usman hit Jorge Masvidal so hard that it started raining in the building for a second.
Josh Donaldson was there hitting home runs.
This
That's
motherfucker, it's
great.
insane. There's a picture that, bear with me, my camera's going to block for a second here.
He got hit so hard, his eyes looked like he was playing fucking the one-armed bandit. They
Yeah,
were just rocking around in his head.
It's insane. Like and it's what makes it extra insane is the fact that
10 seconds before, he was smiling and laughing at him.
yeah, well, that and the fact that Kamaru is, mostly not known as a power puncher until he went and started doing his training camps with Trevor Whitman. Yeah, Buck, I just sent you a picture. Look at that.
Yeah.
And you tell me it's not raining inside.
Oh my gosh, it looks like it's raining for sure. All of the moisture left his body.
Yes.
Yep. He got fucking plastered.
Smacked him. It was a glorious smack. It was a deserved smack. It was a smack of fucking justice, I tell you.
An SMN club would be fucking jealous.
Yeah. It was
Like,
that was
fucking
insane, bro. And second round, 1 minute into the second round. And then the best part of it all was after he hit him with that, in the slow-mo you see it, his head, Jorge's head, goes like the one way, turns the one way like this, and then as it comes back, just like his jaw hits his shoulder and he goes down. And as he's down, he's unconscious. It looks like he's trying to get up, but that's just because his body's so stiff that he's not flat. Like he's like this, he's basically dead.
Oh.
And Osman got a couple of more
did
fucking
not
good
stop.
spots.
He dropped down onto his fucking knees and just boom, hammer fist, boom, hammer fist, boom,
Just
hammer fist.
hammered him.
And you know who was sitting at home at that point doing the exact same thing that Anderson was earlier? Ben fucking Askren. Ben fucking Askren. Ben Askren was watching that once again, he was just like me, ear to ear smiles, and he had to have been happy with that because as somebody once asked Jorge in the post-fight interview when he knocked out Ben, and Ben was clearly unconscious and stiff as a board on his side, and he went in and went for the extra shots while the ref was trying to get him off already. He was asked, do you think the extra shots were really necessary? And Jorge Masvidal said the brilliant at the time answer of super necessary. Super necessary.
Did you see who his next fight is?
Who? Usman?
Yeah.
No.
White says Covington.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. So here's the thing. We found out Usman could punch against Covington in the first Usman-Covington fight when Usman broke Covington's jaw in the fourth round.
Mm-hmm.
Usman's only got better since that fight.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's only gotten better. Colby hasn't even fought since then because he's a little fucking bitch. Well, no, he fought. Didn't he fight Woodley after that? I guess. Yeah, he did.
But Woodley was already going.
Woodley was on a downward spiral at that point.
He was done.
He was stiff, but he sorry, what was I gonna say? So my buddy last night, he told me that he thought give Covington the rematch next, and my thought was, fuck Colby Covington. I don't want Colby Covington to be on my TV screen. I don't want to hear Colby Covington's name. And besides, a worse Kamaru just broke his jaw. This Kamaru will kill it. Book the fight.
Did you see who else wants to throw his name into that fucking party?
That's great. That is fucking
Book
great.
the fight.
You
Book the
gotta make
fight,
that happen.
because I will pay full fucking pay-per-view prices to watch Kamaru Usman turn Colby Covington into a fucking Faces of Death video.
Oh man.
Yeah, and he would
wanna
do
see
it.
that
He'd fucking
bitch.
smack him.
I want him to be just ground into the fucking canvas to the point
Usman's
where
all of
he
a sudden
can't
like a
get up.
mean motherfucker.
Gang.
He's just turned real nasty lately.
Gang. Trevor Whitman brought it out of him, man, and I love it. Trevor Whitman's a savage.
You gotta
Like,
be.
he goes
Same
in there
guy
to
who-
kill.
Same guy who fixed Justin Gaethje. Same
Yeah.
guy who fixed who brought Joanna to the top initially, like was helping with Joanna back in the day. Trevor Whitman's not to be fucked with. He is a genius as far as MMA coaching goes.
Okay.
And you throw some
Goofy
good-
voice.
Did you see who else wants Usman?
No.
McGregor says he'll smack him. I'm not kidding.
I love Connor. I love Connor. I don't want to see him versus Kamaru Usman.
Not if he
'Cause
makes money
Kamaru
off his
Usman-
face.
No, because Kamaru Usman has Khabib level wrestling almost, but then can also break your fucking jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good fight.
No, it won't.
Oh, okay. Now there was actually something that did take away from the headline of this whole show last night.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
Um,
Something happened in the stands.
Jake Paul was there. I do know what you're talking about. Jake Paul was there. The crowd several times. The only good thing the crowd ever fucking did in that crowd's entire fucking life was the fact that 3 separate occasions, very loudly on the broadcast, you could hear, fuck Jake Paul. Fuck Jake Paul. Fuck Jake Paul in the fucking audience. And it was like the whole crowd saying it. That was pretty funny.
And it was also the first time he was
Well
in
done.
the same room with somebody. He was in the first time he was in the same room with Comrie after calling him out, saying he'd smack him in a boxing match. They went face to face.
With who?
Comrie, ex-heavyweight.
Oh, yeah.
They went face to face.
Yeah. So, Cormier. Yes, Cormier.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. DC. Yeah, that made me really happy. At one point, Daniel Cormier brought up on air, on mic, that Jake Paul was there. And Joe Rogan was like, is he even here? He goes, yeah, he's right there. And Joe Rogan's like, oh. And DC goes, don't let me over there. Don't let him come over here, because
Nope.
I will slap him in the fucking face. And I fucking mean it.
And then all of a sudden they were face
And I
to
believe
face.
him.
They were face
Yeah,
to face.
yeah.
There's
And
a
then
video.
on his way, when they were leaving, or when Cormier was leaving, I guess fucking Jake Paul was talking shit, and Cormier fucking went right over. He would die.
You would
Easily.
fucking yes.
Jake Paul would die. Daniel Cormier knocked out Stipe Miocic almost twice.
Oh yeah.
The only other person to knock out Stipe Miocic is fucking Francis Ngannou.
Yeah. There's a man that kind of went downhill after his loss.
Yeah, but he's back in a huge way now. I mean, he's the fucking heavyweight champion for a reason, right? Like, let's go. And that's the other thing to say is, I mean, in the UFC right now, Africa stand up.
There's 3 of them now. 3 champs, right?
Heavyweight, yeah, heavyweight, middleweight, and welterweight. All three.
And there's, also Jamaica.
Yeah.
We got two Nigerians, and where's Ngannou from? Ngannou, Somalia.
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay, Google. Where's Francis Ngannou from?
There you go.
Cameroon.
Well, right now the top 5 is Usman is now number 1.
Yep.
Jones, he can go off of there for all I care. Jones don't count
Jones
my
is a
book.
goof.
The Nigerian king there. Ngannou is 4th, and then Strep is 5.
Oh, Stipe Miocic. Yeah. So I mean, even for the pound for pound.
That is pound for pound.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. For the pound for pound, Africa has like 3 of the top 5. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That has never happened before in the UFC. With African-born champions. Like they've
it's
had
always been Canada,
black
US,
champions
or Brazil.
Yeah, but like, goddamn, man, like the some big stars coming out right now.
Ooh, Hall's number 9 in the middleweights.
Nice. But yeah, that was UFC 261. That was a fucking insane event. Up next we have got UFC Fight Night, Reyes versus Prochaska. That's kind of Dominic Reyes coming in trying to get his winning ways back. He's lost his last 2, debatably. His last one he lost by knockout to Polish Power, Jan Blachowicz. But the fight before that, it is widely regarded that he beat John Jones and should have been the
Jones should have lost at least 2 matches.
Yeah.
That went
him
to
and Thiago.
decision and shouldn't have.
Yeah, him and Thiago. But yeah, so we got that coming up May 1st. That's this Saturday. The next one, we have the return. Yeah, we've got Fight Night with the return of of Corey Sandhagen, great fighter. Seems like a real good guy. And then we also have a piece of shit named TJ Dillashaw returning after a 2-year suspension for EPO, which is the same thing they caught bikers like Lance Armstrong using. He comes back from his suspension to fight Corey Sandhagen. Hopefully the same thing happens to him in this fight as the fight where he got caught cheating but still got knocked out in. And then after that, Dillashaw, you bitch. And then after that, we have UFC 262, where we have Charles Oliveira, Du Bronx, versus Michael Chandler for the vacant lightweight title. The winner of that will likely face the winner of Poirier McGregor 3, which is happening in July.
It's really
UFC
not that
264
great of a card though. Well, you got the return of Diaz, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, we got Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards. We got Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush. Caitlin Chukagian versus Viviane Araújo. Shane Burgos versus Edson Barboza. For me, that's a stacked card. I'll come out to see Edson Barboza fight every single time. Tony Ferguson, El Kukui is undercard's good too. Tony Ferguson, El Kukui, one of my favorite people to ever lace up the boots and go in there. He's a beast. I love Tony Ferguson. He's a complete psychopath, and he can hit you with a Darce choke from literally anywhere.
Yes, yeah, he can.
From literally anywhere. He could be fucking turned around facing the opposite direction of you, and you could be on the walkout ramp on your way out there. You might get hit with a Darce.
Yeah.
Because that's just how Tony fucks around.
Yeah. Even the fight night after that's not too bad either. Font.
Yeah, Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt. There's a lot of really good fights coming up. We're gonna cover them all for sure. If you check us out at Tough Talks Pod on Twitter, I've been tweeting it from my account and then kind of subtweeting through the our group Twitter page. I'm probably gonna move most of it over to our Twitter page. There's a lot of MMA people that I talk to on the other Twitter page that we're trying to get that so that they're on both. But yeah,
I want to see who they're gonna add to 264.
Definitely follow us up. You what? Sorry?
I want to see who they're gonna add to 264.
Yeah, gonna be very interesting to see. We've probably got another few weeks before we get more fights for that one. They tend to leave it a little empty for a little bit just to make sure that they're getting people who are gonna.
They got to make sure they set another title with it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to be in Vegas again. So we're back to full crowds, like it or hate it, which we'll see how I feel after the next crowd.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully they're a little bit more rational.
Yeah, don't let me down, Vegas. Please don't let me down, Vegas. I know Houston probably is going to let me down.
Oh
next
yeah,
month.
disappointment.
Houston's
Gonna
gonna
be
fuck. Yeah, they're gonna fuck me over. But for McGregor versus Poirier in Vegas, it being in July as well, when more people could be vaccinated, so people who aren't just anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers can go too and not be worried. I think that'll help a lot because once again, the fact that a lot of the people who went to that event were not
Idiots.
necessarily following any. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, idiots. Not
was a night
following precautions. They I feel like that lends itself to the type of people you're gonna get. And yeah, it's just like I said, I've always loved watching the live events. I always love hearing the roar of the fans and stuff like that. It's just
And
it was a little embarrassing last night.
Joe Rogan's commentary is so much better when the crowd's going off behind him.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so hyped, so hyped
yeah.
when the crowd starts
So
going.
hyped.
So hyped.
Yeah, big time.
Like his old days of Fear Factory.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that about covers it there.
Yeah, it touches all bases. We ran for an hour and 46 minutes. We
Goddamn.
got a little off. We got a little off base in a couple of things, but we are going to be syndicated on Liquid Fire Radio. Shout outs to Christy Hales. You know what I mean. Shout outs to the wife for keeping touch on what's going on. We got what's the next pay-per-view? WrestleMania Backlash coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna have to do our predictions so I can reclaim my title.
Hey, I might do some predictions. I might.
Yeah, just stretching for that. I gotta stretch it out. I gotta stretch the victory arm out. There we go.
What? Right before they throw it out of the ground?
I guess when I put the thing in portrait mode, all y'all forgot that this is still here.
Oh, okay.
Remember, he said if he ever loses it, he says it's going over the bridge.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking at him. I'm looking at the title. I haven't been looking at him the whole time. I've been looking at the title.
Make your picks wisely if you want if you want this thing to stay afloat.
Oh man.
Oh God.
Yep, that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
Oh man. Well,
no, I had to get your thoughts on that was like one of the best UFCs in a while.
Yeah, it was very fun. Hit him with that outro block. I gotta take a piss.
It is what it is, and it is what it will be. Tune in. You know where to tune in for the 1, 2, 3.
3. Ding, ding, ding.